Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky.
How is the access to clean water in Kibera?
It's very hard because it's mainly controlled by cartels. So it has made the process of getting water very hard. So the water is rationed. There's a lot of rationing of water, so we do not have water on an everyday basis. So there could be maybe in a week we could access like water for 2 or 3 days. So you have to have large stock to store water. Yes, so it's not straight.
Okay, and what about the expenses?
If it's expensive, no, it's affordable, but it's just less. In most parts of Kibera, you will not find adequate water supply, but then if you go to other parts, you actually find more water supply. So there's a lot of rationing issue, and it's also controlled by illegal cartels. So I would say it's very challenging getting water, adequate water, and clean water. Actually, most of it is not clean.
Okay. Do you have access to toilets and baths and showers and stuff?
Yes, we do, but then they are of low standards, I would say, because most of the people share washrooms, and yeah, so you find that we could have like 10 to 15 people using one toilet in a one setup. So I would say it's very challenging in terms of getting enough washroom facilities, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that a problem?
It's a challenge that Kiberans are trying to curb, but we do not have any issue of flying toilets anymore. Initially, people used to like do their thing in the paper bag, then wrap it up nicely and throw it away. So you'd always watch out for your face. But then nowadays, it has stopped.
Okay. What is your opinion on incineration? You know, like burning the trash.
Oh yeah, I think there should be a better solution to this. I feel that burning trash is like the desperate action that citizens are taking on their own because there's no support. Personally, I feel that the government should step up their game because Kiberans have been paying taxes for many years since independence. So we are entitled to get services, including garbage collection services. So people do collect garbages, yes, but then no one is collecting them to throw them away. So there's a lot of deposition of a lot of garbage, but then no one is taking them away. So that is why people are burning it up. But it is polluting the air. It's more hazardous to many people because it takes longer to burn. It can take days. It burns slowly, so the atmosphere is not very clean most of the time. I think that we should have a recycling mechanism, especially in informal settlements, Kibera being one of them. Kibera is a nice place, but then with all this trash everywhere, it becomes really messed up. So I feel that if we can have a recycling system that can accommodate all this trash, then Kibera is actually going to be one of the cleanest slums. Not only the biggest slum in Africa, but actually the biggest and the cleanest slum in the world. And this can be done first by the local people. I feel that it's also our sole responsibility to ensure that we just don't throw trash anywhere. It's also it's a mutual. I think that it should be properly coordinated between two parties, the citizens and the authorities, so that we can have an equilibrium where we can have each and every party playing their part. Even if the government were to collect the trash and we keep throwing trash everywhere, it will not be sustainable.
Okay. You mentioned it a bit before, but what do you think that the government could do to improve the health situation and the environment here in Kibera?
The government should be more responsible and accountable. We Kiberans are done by being used by the government. To them, we're just voters. They see us as just votes. But then it should be more than that. We feel that most of this, Kibera actually is here because someone is responsible. Someone is somewhere seated and all this is happening on their watch. I feel that it's high time that Kiberans start actively advocating for the better slum that they're living in. And that can be done truly by the duty bearers into account. The people we elect there or the people who are entrusted with power to give services to the people, especially the Kiberans. Kiberans have been neglected for so long. We do not even appear in the Kenyan map. just a grey spot in the Kenyan map. So if you're not included in the Kenyan map, you cannot get government services. So I feel that there's a lot of work to be done to step up Kibera livelihoods. There's a lot of contribution that Kiberans are making to the Kenyan development, political-wise, development-wise. We are building this city. We are working now this city. Yeah, so I feel that most Kiberans should step up their game to hold these people into account. At the same time, we should also not just be lazing around, throwing trash all over, people getting corrupt. We're just sitting there watching them out. So I feel that there's a lot of work to be done, I would say, for both sides. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace.
I can say it's not good enough, but by the situation that we are in now, it's not, but there is not good. The way we are living by now, is the situation in water, we lack water and toilets.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine.
So, what causes the strike of doctors and nurses in Kenya?
Mostly they have not been paid for the last 4 months, and also the work condition. Yeah.
Okay. How has the strike affected you? Like, affected the people in Kibera?
It has really affected people in Kibera, because I can say, like yesterday, we referred a patient to Bagati District Hospital. The patient wanted to deliver a baby, and yet the baby was not well. It was not cephalic presentation, so he was supposed to be taken for SAS section. When we went there, the door was closed. Yeah, so we struggled, nowhere to go. We decided to go to St. Mary's. At St. Mary's, we were told you have to pay a deposit of 10,000, which we did not have by then. Yeah, so it's really affecting many clients, because I can say, like right now we have 2 bedridden patients. There are one is has a TB or spinal, the other one is HIV positive, and she has been attending ANC clinic at the government hospital, and yet now they are not operating. Yeah, so probably she's not even taking the drugs. Yeah, and the patient is almost 8 months pregnant. Yeah.
So, how has the strike affected you as a nurse?
Yeah, I can say it has affected us. We can say as a business people also, it has affected us positively and again negatively. We can say now we have a high turn up of patients, because many are coming to deliver in our place now. But a negative challenge is that when there is a problem we want to refer a patient, most likely we do prefer to the government hospital, and yet they are not operating right now, so they have to go to St. Mary's, which is a bit expensive.
Okay. we've been told that there is a lack of equipment and that the equipment is not really up to date. Is that something that you can recognize?
Equipment like?
Yeah, like I don't know this. I don't know much about
Yeah,
medical equipment,
medical equipment,
medicine maybe.
medicines we have. I can say we have most of the drugs. I can say just a big challenge is that right now I'm only having this BP machine and the battery is a bit low. So I prefer maybe if I can get a manual one. The problem with the manual one also, when you buy a manual one, it cannot even last for 5 months. Yeah. So it's a challenge.
Okay. And back to the thing with the strike and the strike with the nurses. Do you think that the nurses have like a responsibility for the people?
They have a responsibility for the people, but also the government also should sit and look and pay for their services. Because here in Kenya, in Nairobi, they have to pay their house rent, they have to pay the school fees, they have to eat, and the way economy is right now, it's quite challenging. I personally, I can support the nurses. And right now, it is not only the nurses, even the clinic officers are on strike. The working condition also is not good. Once upon a time, I used to work in the government. Yeah.
Okay. So according to The Guardian, like 1 out of 5 children will probably die before they reach the age of 5 here in Kibera. And how can you help to prevent that?
Generally, we can help by providing quality, affordable medical services. And that only we can do it if we can get people with like-minded who can assist us to get drugs, at least so that we can give quality, affordable, and also the instruments that are needed. Yeah.
Okay. And the last question, what do you think that the government could do to improve the health situation and the environment in Kibera?
Mostly they should accept to partner with us, people that are working within Kibera, and also the private clinics also, so that when we are attending to patients in maternity cases, you know, when they come to us, they have to pay. But if you go to government hospital, it is free. They should look on ways on how to reimburse us so that we'll be able to offer free maternity services to the people of Kibera and to all Kenyans as a whole. Because right now they are saying that maternity is free, and yet they are on strike. In Kenya, mostly it is the work of a midwife and a nurse to conduct delivery. It is not a work of a doctor to conduct a delivery or a clinic officer to conduct a delivery. So it is a very big challenge. I think they should consider the private, to partner with those private so that they'll be able to reimburse us, so that we'll be able to conduct free maternity services to the community.
Possessions. I wonder if you can.
Now, what are the consequences of incineration, burning trash?
Probably the first is pollution, which is basically the basic one, which in turn leads to many different things. Like for example, you can say greenhouse, things of the sort. For example, diseases or infections, and probably drought, which is also another effect of greenhouse effect. And and the worst is the source of garbage also. Yeah, dirt, which is, if you know that, it is irritating sometimes. But the most basic one is just greenhouse effect, which in turn brings other things.
Can you think of any better and perhaps innovative solution to this problem?
Yeah, the first one, we can use energy-wise sort of heat or energy. For example, like jikos, which we use here, energy storing jikos. Then we can probably stop using too much charcoal. which is a bit hard in Kenya, though it can be done somehow. Then the best one is just finding nice ways of depositing garbages. Yeah, not just everywhere. Specific points that can work as well in Kenya.
Okay, so the Sustainable Development Goals created by the UN focuses on inter alia access to clean water, health and well-being, as well as sustainable cities and communities. So do you think that the UN is doing a good enough job regarding these goals here in Kibera?
In Kibera, I think they're trying. I've seen some of UN staff or logos somewhere. I think they're trying, though I don't know that well what they're doing in Kibera. But basically, I know they're doing something because I've seen it in news. Yeah, though it's not that much enough, but I think they're really trying to help in their own little ways. But they're trying. I will not say they're not doing anything. They are really trying. Though I haven't had much experience with them. And then also in Kibera, you never know who does. Sometimes it's just a basic NGO, sometimes it's UN. So you can never categorize. This is UN, this is, for example, the Shofco. You can never just categorize. But I think they're doing something.
Okay, can you like feel that there has been any improvement?
Okay, well, living in Kibera it's quite strange noticing an improvement. Yeah, from when I was born till now, there is an improvement. Basically, the first one is there are now way too many hospitals around. Like when I was still this young, there were probably a few meters away. But right now, I can comfortably say there are hospitals around.
No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of